Hi, this is Everett's Watercolors, and I'm here tonight with Simply Drawing with Everett, 7:30 p.m. So welcome aboard. I'm broadcasting live from my studio to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and also later on into Instagram. And I'm in my studio tonight with my wife, Gloria.
Hi.
And she'll be monitoring the broadcast and also checking the chat room. The chat room's live, so if you have any questions or comments, I'll put them down there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And after the broadcast, if you have comments, you can put them in the remarks below into comments at the bottom of the video in the description section, comments area, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now, tonight we'll do a drawing, and I think you'll enjoy it. I've enjoyed doing it, so let me go over and let's get started. I'm going to take you to my drawing table. Okay, what we're going to draw tonight, we're going to draw this 3-hole punch. This is a heavy-duty punch which I used at the desktop, and this is something I've used them before, and I'll show you a little bit after I get finished with the drawing. So this is going to be a sketch tonight, and we're going to learn how to draw, not just this, but also how to draw almost anything you want to as far as learning how to do it. So let me get started. I'm going to use a 2B pencil to get started. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start over here at the left side, left corner over here. So get myself oriented here on my pad. So I'm going to start here at the left corner. I'm going to start with this corner. And there's an angle up here to this corner here. So I've got that angle. I'm going to put that in. And then it goes, I'm on a diagonal here, so it's a slope down. We'll go this way. Right at this corner, all the way over to this corner here. About right there. Now we're estimating the size and so forth, and that's just fine. Then we can come down here. This has got a slight angle to it. And then it comes, see the angle here? It comes into the side. And there's the front side of this. It comes over. We'll get the top of this here at the top. And it'll come down. It's got a slightly angle because we're looking at an angle, so it's going to be a little bit longer here. So we'll come down here. This comes down to this corner, and this comes down. The width, the thickness of it, and let's get the thickness. We'll get this bottom section right here, and then we'll go back to this corner here, and I'm just doing this by observation. I'm just using contour drawing, and I'm just observing what I see here, and this goes back this angle, and I'm going to rough in a line, and this long black edge here. Let's see. We'll start here. Connect those two areas. This would come down. I'm going to just rough that in here. Then, let's see. There's a little. There's this gauge across here. I'm going to put that in. It's just starts up here from this line, comes down, and it goes parallel to there, and there's another bottom. This is like a ruler. It has a scale on it, inches and so forth. Okay, now we'll get the back of this, the real guts of it. We'll start over here. We'll start over here on the left top. This comes in, and there's a square. There's a square shape. And it comes down, something like, I'm going to rough this in first of all before I go any further with it. And this comes down here. And then there's another one in the center. We'll put another one in. About right here. It goes back. I'm roughing in these. This is where the hole punch goes through right here. This apparatus right here, this section. Comes down. Okay, now I'm going to have to extend this section here a little bit. So I'm going to have to extend this just a little bit more to get that third one in. And I'll come over here. I'll estimate that about right there. So I had to extend this just a little bit more to make it, I'll make all these lines parallel. So make a little adjustment. Make a little extension on that. Let's see this one here. Come out a little bit more. Okay, so I erased this. I'll erase this section here. This was just a preliminary move, of preliminary lines. So we erase that, and we'll continue on here. Okay, this goes out here. This continues on. Okay. Now there's a long section here. This is. Starts over here. There's a round piece that goes over a round section, which is part of the punch. It's part of the punch apparatus. This comes through here. I have to maybe draw that a little bit more too. So these are just the rough preliminary lines to get things started. Okay, so we'll have to just back up this, probably get this a little bit higher. And there's a groove at the bottom of this section here. There's a groove that runs through on the bottom of this. There's a groove, a slot. Okay, I'm going to bring my paper out just a little bit now off the back of this here. Let's get the handle in. Now the handle would come out, and then it bends. You can see it bends here. It comes out here, bends around. It has an angle to it. This has this part here is the handle. The handle does the punch handle, and then it goes out straight again. And then there's a little the handle part which you pull down, and you can see here this is about to the end, out to here to the center. That's the part you pull down. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is try to do a little bit of modifications on some of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a darker pencil, and let's see, I'll get the 4B. Maybe I'll go to my 6B. Okay. I'm going to my 6B to get a little bit darker and make things line. Okay, so this line here, let's see which one I like. I like that one's okay. This one's okay. So I'll darken in the areas that I'm happy with. This line here. And there's this section here which has a meter to it, which has a scale, goes across here. This comes down here, and we got the bottom over here. We get the front edge. The front edge is here, and the very bottom edge is here. And I had to erase this line here. This was the old line I put in, the original line that I started with. I modified that. And then this side here goes back. And then it according to the photograph here, it curves back here like this. Okay. All right. Now the back side, the top of it goes up here. All right. Now let's get these. We'll get these parts here better. Let's see. This one there's a groove that goes all the way across, and there's a mechanism here that has a little curve to it. So I put that in. That's where that holds the punch. That holds the punch. It has a hole in it. And then there's the end point of this rod that runs through, a bar or rod. And then this comes up here and comes down. Simplify that a little bit. Then this rod continues on to the next section, and it has a circular group to it. That's where the punch is. And there's a hole in it. See the back edge. The back edge here goes across behind here. The back edge. And this bar comes through. This section here, and this last one here has another punch line, another punch, which comes down, and it goes back. And these all have they have little knobs on the top which adjusts the you adjust the distance of the holes, and then it has a locking mechanism here to keep it in place. These are little they lock these punches in place. And this one over here is one more at the back. Okay. And the back line, back edge is there. And there's that groove. There's a groove that goes. This is where the holes run. This is where the punch runs through the body of the punch. And let's get this one here. This comes around, curves. A little wider. And this comes up here. Pretty straight line. Okay, then the handle is just about right here. Again, I'm just going by the photograph, and Okay, and down here, if you've never seen one of these, this particular punch was and I'll put the name down here. They are manufactured by Boston, and their company name is right here, BOSTON. Okay, and they're called Boston 3-hole punches, and you can find them on the internet. I found this picture on the internet so I could I used a photograph here to draw from. Okay, now I'm going to take my little bit of shading. I'll put this handle up here, which is darker. Shade that in. Take a little bit of hit the blending stump. Shade that in. Let's see. Now another thing, I think this slot is deep, so I'm going to shade this in also. This slot here, which is where the punch goes down, right here. The punch fits into the slot. That's how the whole mechanism works, right there. But this slot is very important. It's the location of the holes that you're going to punch into your paper. And then we have this this round rod that runs through the machine or tool. And this part here is the front top edge is here. And this has got a scale on it. It's got an inch scale, which measures the width of the paper. Because you can really do, if you know what you're doing, you can do 2-hole punches, 3-hole punches, and even 1-hole punches if you had to do that. So that scale helps you with your measurements and where you set it up. Okay. All right. Okay, well there's the photograph, and there's my drawing, and I think it's pretty accurate. Again, it was just a rough sketch. We can do a little shading. We can do a little shading here on the side to break this up just a little bit. And that's about it. I don't want to get too detailed on that. Now we can shade this side over here to show a little depth. Okay. All right, so what did we learn tonight? Well, what we learned is, okay, well, you can take any device. This happened to be a very long and narrow this way, but it had a different mechanism. So we had to start out by drawing in some lines and approximate the angles. And then I started down here at one corner and moved across the item, and then I built it up to the top, and then I had to estimate the sections here of the punches themselves. And I had to make a little adjustment here because this was too narrow, so I moved it out, erased the line, and continued on. And then I added in the punch mechanism, and then added in the bar and the handle out to the top. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take you over to my my overhead camera. I'm going to show you. I have a punch here right here in the studio, and I'm going to just play with what I have. So I'm going to take you over to my overhead camera. Okay, and here's my 3-hole punch right here. So there's the real deal right there. So that photograph gave you a pretty good idea what it looks like, but this is the real deal. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper, the one I just drew, and I'm going to put it into the punch. It's already measured out. You have to calibrate it to make sure it's the holes are where you want them to go, the 3-hole punch. Because if you're going to put it in a 3-hole binder, you want to make it fit the binder. So you take the paper, you slide it in. This little groove right here is where you set up the guide. This little groove here, you set up the guide, and it's on 11-inch. This is 11-inch paper. 8.5 by 11. And then you can adjust where you want these holes to go. And what you do is pull the handle down, and let it go, and there's a see the 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. So that's a 3-hole punch. Now I'll take my binder. I take my 3-ring binder that I have, and I open up the 3 rings, and I take my drawing, and I post it in here, and ooh, look at that, it fits. Then I close it up, and I'm all in business. So, and this is what I do. I keep this. I've been using sheet protectors to put just slide in. But here I wanted to show you tonight about the 3-hole binder. Just by putting that in here, now I got a permanent record, permanent copy of what I drew tonight. And what I usually will do also is I'll keep a copy of my reference photograph. I'll keep a copy of the reference photograph, and then I'll have a copy of my drawing, and I'll have a date on it. And then that's a good record of my simply drawing with Everett item for that evening. Okay. Oh, I need to take a drink. Well, so that was a lot of fun. We learned tonight to draw, to scope out the size and so forth, which I think was a good exercise, and also show you how the actual operation works. So let me go over to my main camera. Hi. Yeah, this is Everett. Having a good time tonight with Simply Drawing with Everett. I thought I picked up an object which is sitting on my desk a lot. I use a 3-hole punch when I need it, but like I said before, I usually insert my photos and drawings. I put them inside of sheet protectors, which are already hole punched. But once in a while, I have a loose leaf. I'll have a loose sheet of paper, or a chart or something, and then I'll use the 3-hole punch in order to put it into my binder. And the binders are a good way to document your drawings, a good way to keep track of what you've done and so forth. And I think I showed you last week, also I have my sketch and drawing journal, which I post an item. If I'm out sketching, I take a little walk, and I take my sketchbook with me, and then I'll do a sketch, and I'll bring it back to the studio, and I may add some color to it, and then I'll post it in my walk and sketch journal. Walk and sketch. Okay, and I'm on my second one now. I've got like 50 sketches in there that I've done over the last couple. It's right there, Gloria. Right there. Right there on the table. Yeah.
This is what you did this afternoon.
Yeah. This is. I'll show you my overhead. Yeah, overhead's good. Yeah. And here's my walk and sketch journal number 2, and this is something I did this afternoon on my watercolor class. I had a picture of a subject that I painted, and over here is my references and so forth. This is a sample of my plein air sketch that I did, and this is all documented in my walk and sketch journal. And that's what I do in a week. I do 3 or 4 of them when I'm out walking. And on the weekends, if I do a plein air sketch, I also post that.
And that video was from your 2 o'clock watercolor.
Yeah, the video I just did, video about that sketch and walk and sketch journal, I did at 2 o'clock this afternoon. But anyway, for this evening, I wanted to show you a drawing. But you can also, what I recommend to you is keep copies of, or keep records and logs of your drawing exercises, especially if you're doing something here on the class. If you're doing something here that I show you and you're doing it, you can post them on Facebook with Everest Watercolors Art Group on my Facebook page, and I'd be glad to share them with me on that if you did a drawing that we did here in the live show. So that's the only way to stay in contact. And if you have questions during the broadcast or after the broadcast, send them along and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, as soon as possible. So until next week, I'll be back with, let me go back to my main camera. So until next week, I'll be back with Simply Drawing with Everett on 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to, you can catch my watercolor demonstration, watercolor class at 2 o'clock p.m. on Thursday. And then over the weekend, I do anyone can draw with one line. And that's a short little video. Every Sunday I put it out. And it's become very popular. A lot of people look at that too. You might find that interesting. Now, if you're subscribed to my channel, then you'll be notified of all the videos that are coming out, my live videos, and you'll be able to be notified of anything new coming out on my channel, everettswatercolors.com. Now, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you see my videos. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up and give me some comments. It helps with my rating. I really appreciate that. So until next week, until next time, I'll see you on the next live video. You all stay safe and stay cool. It's going to be cooler, I think, Tuesday through Thursday is a nice cool weather coming down here on the East Coast. So enjoy. So we'll see you next week.